Hey guys, SleepyJ here, pregame.com, joined here by the one and the only Uncle Dave. You guys know where to find us on Twitter, SleepyJ_pregame and at Dave_Esser. We're going to go ahead and give you guys a free pick for our pregame followers today. Uncle Dave, we're going to go ahead, we're going to preview Sunday football, the big game on Sunday, the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right now, Tampa Bay -3.5 at home. We have a total of 53. Uncle Dave, before we get into this matchup, let's talk a little bit about Monday Night Football and what occurred between Buffalo and New England. That game was windy. I mean, we saw kickers out there from the 30-yard line trying to get the ball through the goalpost. Was not happening. Actually, they did have some success last night, kicking with the wind at their back, but going into the wind, the passing attack was limited. The kicking game was kind of hilarious. The punting game was hilarious. But what did you see last night? In that game, Patriots threw the ball 3 times and they still come out victorious against Buffalo. That has to raise some questions for you, with Buffalo, especially being at home here. The fact that they only managed to score 10 points, they come up short in that game, against the Patriots. So you're a Patriots fan there, Uncle Dave. What did you see last night in the game? Are there any concerns for you, with Buffalo going forward?
We all saw how easily the Patriots were able to run the ball, but the concern for me with Buffalo is how the Patriots were continually able to run the ball, in spite of Buffalo knowing that was exactly what they were going to do. That to me, they didn't make any adjustments. The adjustment they really made, Patriots were driving there at the end of the third quarter, and then they had the break between the third and the fourth quarters, and I remember them saying that McDermott had said something to one of the defensive players who, subsequently made a couple of stops, and I think that momentum between the quarters, I think that killed the Patriots' momentum, or it might not even have been that close. But my thing is that Buffalo didn't make any adjustments, not only knowing what New England was going to do, continually letting them do it, and not doing something. I know you and I talked about, well, maybe they were waiting, playing against Mac Jones, throwing over the top of them, but that just wasn't going to happen. And even if they were worried about that, you can't let the Patriots run for 7 yards on first down every single time. So, I question the Buffalo coaching, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
More than anything going into this particular game, Uncle Dave, I have concerns with the line. Right now, the line's -3.5 in favor of Tampa, and it's saying that these teams are only a 1-point difference on a neutral field. And I think the records would say differently. I think the results from this teams would say differently. What is Buffalo's strength of schedule there, Uncle Dave? It's got to be low. It's got to be one of the worst in the league.
Yeah, it is actually. In the basic strength of schedule, non-adjusted, they're next to last in strength of schedule. So, that tells me all I really need to know. If you look at the Buffalo defense, they've got some great sort of rankings, if you will. They're first or second in, most of the important defensive categories, points, yards, points per play, yards per play, yada, yada, yada. But, we just talked about it. They're 31st in basic strength of schedule. So, if they were anything but that, I would be surprised. So, I think their defense is truly a paper tiger, if you will.
I'm looking at their schedule here, Uncle Dave, and I'm going through and I'm looking at quarterbacks that they beat this season. And I see Trevor Siemian on there. I see Zach Wilson on there. I see Brissett. I see Tua. I see Heineke. I see Davis Mills. And I see Patrick Mahomes. 6 out of their 7 wins this year have come against arguably, and I don't want to put 2 in there, Uncle Dave, because I think he's playing well, but you're talking some of the worst quarterbacks in the league on paper, by far. And when they beat the Chiefs, look, I think Buffalo at that time was playing their best football, and the Chiefs were playing their worst. I can't say that Buffalo is playing their best football right now. One of my big concerns going into this game here against Tampa Bay is, Tampa Bay, they don't allow you to run the football. And this Buffalo Bills team, they're running backs. Now, just take Josh Allen out of this conversation, but the Buffalo Bills running backs haven't combined for more than 2 games over 100 yards in the last 17 games. That's going all the way back to like week 15 last year. That includes the playoffs. Now you enter Matt Breida in. I believe he fumbled the football last night. I don't think Buffalo has an identity right now that even scares anybody with their backfield. So, it all comes down to Josh Allen and that passing attack. And right now, Tampa Bay, they're getting healthy. Their secondary is healthy once again. So I don't know what Buffalo does here on the road. They played on Monday night. Now they have to travel. So it's a little bit of shorter rest for them. Maybe the weather is a little bit of a concern. I read that it's supposed to be somewhere around 80 degrees. So, you're going to go from practicing in Buffalo where it's, 30, 35 degrees, 40 degrees down into, hot weather. Last time they played in Florida, they lost. They lost to Jacksonville. I think I left that quarterback out. I did. I left out Trevor Lawrence. There's another one. They lost in Jacksonville. They can only score 6 points in Florida. So I don't know what to do with Buffalo right now, except just downgrade them a lot. I mean, they should have won that game last night. They're playing at home in prime time in a game that they need like blood, or they're going to give the division away. So I'm just talking through this, thinking about, how bad Buffalo has looked, the results that I see in front of me, the lack of a running game. And if you can't run, Uncle Dave, you're going to be one-dimensional against a team that is getting healthier and that's playing at home and that's looking for a potential first-round bye or, a home game in the playoffs. Tampa's going to be motivated in prime time.
Yeah, I would agree. And, we left out the fact that Buffalo also lost at home, by 26 points to the Indianapolis Colts not that long ago. So, and you brought it up, the Bucs are playing for a first round bye at least. And, you look at the Bucs schedule, and after this game, they sit there and they've got Carolina twice and
New Orleans
at home and the Jets. So, I mean, they're probably going to be double-digit favorites or close in all those games. So, in reality, this is the Bucs' probably last chance to lose. So, I don't think you're going to see a half-assed effort here by Tampa Bay. And, we talked about this a little bit last night when we spoke, Brady against Buffalo, or Buffalo against Brady, depending on how you want to look at it. Brady's 34-4 against the Bills. I guess the argument could be made there again. Well, the Bills certainly know Brady just as well, but they knew Brady for 20 years and they couldn't do anything about it. So, I really think that's a big deal. Brady is another coach, and he'll tell that staff exactly what Buffalo is all about. And, I don't think that can be overlooked either.
I think once you see somebody that many times, Uncle Dave, you either develop some type of fear or you develop a superior confidence. And Brady against Buffalo has to have superior confidence, with a 34-4 record against them. I think if Buffalo stands a chance, they have to do something to slow down Godwin and Evans and Gronk. And, with their number one defensive player in Tre'Davious White, he's now out for the season. I think that hurts a lot. I mean, that was probably an area of the field that maybe going into this game, had he been in this game, that's an area of the field that maybe Tom Brady would have looked to avoid. He's not going to avoid that now. I think that the offense right here for Tampa Bay is wide open now. And if the Buffalo Bills rushing attack is getting exploited the way it did last night, well, we've seen what Fournette's done over the last couple of weeks. He's looked pretty damn good. So I don't know how you get the Buffalo in this game. I understand the line's 3.5, but Uncle Dave, I made my line 6 because I don't make these teams 1 point difference on a neutral. I make them like 3.5 on a neutral. So my line's 6 for this game. At 3.5, maybe you'll have some sharp guys going in there and trying to gobble up that key number, trying to get that hook. But maybe the books are wanting Buffalo money because they're worried that, the public might jump in here on Tampa. But I actually think the pros and Joes might align on this game here, Uncle Dave. And I think we see pros and Joes on Tampa, and this line very well could go maybe a little bit higher. Maybe it goes to 4.5. I can't get to Buffalo under no circumstance.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, we talked about this, that you made it obviously higher, and you asked me what number I would consider Buffalo, and consider would be 6, and I wouldn't feel good about it at that. I mean, I think the thing right now, and we're recording this Tuesday. If you like Tampa Bay and you can get a 3, I mean, I think you do it right now because it's certainly not going to come down. And Westgate, DraftKings, Circa, William Hill, they've still got 3s up there, and I would say there's, I don't want to say no chance because there's never no chance of anything. Brady could get COVID between now and Sunday, but there's no chance that's going to be under 3 come game day. I mean, it's only going to go up. So, I think if you like the Bucks, the sooner the better.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. It sounds like Uncle Dave and I are going to go ahead agree here on Tampa Bay to go ahead and lay the points. Obviously, Uncle Dave mentioned there are some 3s out there, so that's the number you want to go ahead and take, Tampa. I'm not afraid taking him at 3.5 either. I wouldn't even tease Buffalo in this position here either, because I think that with the results we've seen, the schedule that they've had, and all the struggles that they've had this entire season, that there's a chance that they can get blown out. Look, Uncle Dave, if Indy could beat them and put up 40 in Buffalo, why can't Tampa do that at home? I don't want any part of Buffalo here. So we'll make that official, guys. That'll be our pick. Tampa Bay for Sunday football. That is a 4:00 primetime game there, Uncle Dave. So hopefully you'll be watching, I'll be watching, and we can go ahead and cash a ticket for our followers. But you guys know where to follow us on Twitter, SleepyJ_pregame. Dave_Esser, and at the best sports betting information site on the web, pregame.com. With that said, I'd like to wish you guys all the best of luck on Sunday. Enjoy the games.